Hey friends, so I just had to finish a couple hours watching Fast X, which you can probably get at Hamilton Public Library. That's the city that I live in, Hamilton, and I just finished watching it. And I just, it's it's by no stretch of the imagination an overly intelligent movie. It's definitely one of those check your mind at the door, enjoy the show, and it's okay in terms of action, but storyline is pretty garbage. But it's Fast and Furious, so what do you expect, right? So, but yeah, it's a decent action movie, and the thing that I find it helped me with was actually just like just relaxed me, put me in a good mood, and I was able to laugh at a lot of the, you know, it's so over the top, it's laughable, but there's also a decent amount of humor in the movie itself. But suffice to say, I think that's what I need to do more of. I think, well, obviously, I obviously need to spend less time on social media, get more rest, and just, I'm aware of my own, even when it's happening, I'm aware of my own faults. When I'm being aggressive or irritable or using overt language or being hostile, I'm aware of it happening, but I find it sometimes it's very hard to restrain myself. And I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just saying it is what it is. I think just being aware of my own triggers, my own impulses, my own humanity, my own flaws, and just trying to work on if I'm in a bit of a bad mood, just to maybe not go on social media, because I'm the worst place to be when you're feeling irritable is on the internet, so especially on social media. So, it's I've said too about being aware of your internal world, and I'm extremely aware of my internal world at all times, pretty much. And the thing is too is like I don't understand about other people too is like a lot of people will assume my motivations or my intentions or other things in pure ignorance, because like other than God, the only person who truly knows my intentions is me. So that's what I really don't understand about a lot of people is they'll read into my intentions pure projection. And it happens. I mean, happens a lot actually. Or that people will say you're not a Christian because you had a bad day or you did this, but I'm like, my Christianity doesn't depend on things I do. Like, I wasn't saved because I was a good person, obviously, and I don't continue to be saved because I'm a good person. Equally obvious. So, I don't know. I mean, there's Christians who said they've admonished me or rebuked me or corrected me for my behavior, and that's fine. I mean, it's part of the call. Correction is necessary. The thing I kind of find weird is that I have to accept people's almost kind of this legalistic acceptance. Like I have to accept the correction to which it was given. I'm not talking about just like the correction itself, but I have to accept the correction. I have to accept the message. I have to accept the tone. I have to accept the delivery. Or even I have to like it. Remember talking about that yesterday, where someone's like, "It doesn't sound like you like the correction." I'm not correct. I'm committed to like it. I'm not like committed to accept it. But then you've got other people like that won't accept correction for the life of them. And that's what I find is hilariously ironic, because you got other people like Peter or Aaron or others who will lambast me about making a video about correction, and then say, oh, I can't accept correction, when Aaron can accept correction. Peter certainly can't accept correction. And, and Peter's all over the map. Like, I don't think I've met an atheist who's this hyper, kind of like all over the map and just likes to talk and talk and talk and not shut up and just go on and on and on and on. And, it is what it is. I mean, Peter, if you ever watch this, which you probably will, because I'm going to tag you in it, it's pretty obvious that you like to talk a lot. You don't like to shut the hell up. I mean, I mean, if we're being blunt, it's pretty obvious that you like to talk and not listen. And like you like to set your guest up and give them false pretense and then be dishonest and accuse me of dishonesty, which of course is ironic because you're an atheist, so you're a liar to begin with. And you know you're a liar, so it's kind of interesting. And you don't treat your guest with humanity. What a bunch of crap that was. You treated me with humanity. Oh my gosh. Like, Peter, you are the most dishonest atheist ever. And not only you're intellectually dishonest, but you give false pretense. You like to set people up. And I actually know for a fact that you've doxed people and had people fired from friends of mine that I know. You're a jackass. Who does that, man? Like, trying to get people fired and doxed just because you have a disagreement with their worldview? Like, Peter, you're the bottom of the freaking barrel, man. You're a jackass. Like, just really, you get people fired and you dox them just because they have a contrary worldview, and then you accuse me of being a coward and dishonesty? Really? Time for you to take that freaking plank out of your own eye, jackass. Jeez, man. Peter. But enough about Peter. I'm giving him too much power. And I admit it. I mean, that guy really got under my skin today. There's no question, or yesterday, rather. There's no question about it. And then the thing I don't understand about guys like Peter is like, he's so anal about every freaking thing. I cut off less than an hour and a half. I agreed to be on the show before we went on to between an hour and a half. The only reason I left the show early is because Peter was being a jackass. Now, granted, as I said, I could have and should have handled myself better, and I wasn't in great space or mood. Like, I was irritable, I was hostile, I was aggressive. And then he wants to attack me because I said I was going to be. So basically, he's accusing me of dishonesty. Well, I only cut it out because Peter was being a jackass. And so it wasn't just about dishonesty, it was about self-respect. Like, there's limits. I wasn't dishonest in my intent. I cut it out because, again, self-respect. I wasn't going to tolerate this emotional verbal abuse from this jackass Peter guy just because I'm on the show and just because I said I was going to be on it, which I would have agreed to had Peter not been a jackass. So there is that. Second thing is I'm usually anal about little things, like if I make a spelling mistake or a grammar mistake. Like, it's social media, you jackass. Like, are we really going to? Do you really think everyone on social media, anyone for that matter, is overly concerned about grammar and spelling? If so, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot if you think people on social media really care about grammar and spelling. I mean, if you're going to be honest, like, you'd never go after anyone else for that just because you're going after me because I have a contrary worldview. That's the only reason. And you hate God. Obviously, you hate God. And it is self-evidently true that God exists because gravitational force alone is exactly where it needs to be. How does something like gravitational force, which is exactly where it needs to be, like not just kind of, but precisely where it needs to be for the conditions of life, happen by accident? Please tell me, Peter. How do you get about 8 billion people on the planet? No two people have the same two fingers. Please tell me, Peter. How does that happen by chance? Please tell me, Peter. How does the brain make over 1 billion calculations a second? How does that happen by chance? Not just yours and mine, but everybody's. And how do you have 3 million lights instead of cells in one eye? And how does that happen by chance? How do you get life from non-life? How do you get order from chaos? Please tell me, Peter. How does all this stuff happen? Just by chance. How do we see uniformity in nature? Why do birds fly in uniformity? Why is there obvious evidence of design? If the shirt on my back had a creator, how much more insane would it be that everything in this world has no creator? Like, Peter, use your head, man. It's not self-evident. Give me a freaking break. See, again, remember, and then two, and X, Peter talks about my thing about LGBT because I mentioned I wanted to burn a flag because of my hatred for the sin. Now, of course, dumbasses like Peter here can't distinguish between hatred of sin and hatred of and love of the person. I hate my own sin. I hate it when I get hostile. I hate it when I get too aggressive. I have a hatred for a disdain for my own humanity and sin. And I mean, my sinful humanity. I have a disdain for it. But yet I have to still contend with it. But I have to work in within the realm of honesty, which of course Peter here can't do. Because because like I said, yeah, I know for a fact that this guy has literally gotten people fired and he's doxed people that just because of a contrary worldview. And then he's got the audacity, this jackass has the absolute audacity to accuse me of being a coward when he's literally got people fired and doxed. And then of course he's got zero humility. He just attacks. And then even when I apologize for him, he's like, I don't accept this non-apology. Okay, fair enough. And then Peter, of all things, he asked me not to tag him with what he calls a rape apologist, Steve McRae. Now that's an accusation that Peter has made. I have no idea whether or not it's true or not. At this point, I don't really give a shit. I don't know much about Steve, so I don't know enough about Steve to make a comment one way or the other. But Peter has said that. So let it be known. But Peter wants to drag me through the mud. Now I'm going to drag you through the mud, asshole. Because I'm sick of this shit. And the thing is, I don't understand too, is like, why do atheists get off? Like, it's almost like they're jacking off to this mockery, this vile insult. And Peter calls me a vile, disgusting human being, which is kind of ironic considering this guy literally has gotten people fired and doxxed. And he's calling me vile. You're a jackass, Peter. And you're a fucking hypocrite. I don't usually use language but if this is a good indication that I'm pretty vexed. And if you're a Christian, don't even bother correcting me about it. I already know it's wrong. I'm just expressing myself. So again, if you're a Christian, keep it to yourself. Do you know what? Even if you're not a Christian, keep it to yourself. Actually, you know what? I'm probably just going to close comments. This will be the first and only time I'm actually going to close comments on this because I just don't want to hear anything right now because I'm just venting. And if you can't understand that, so what? I don't really give a shit. So this is going to be my first and only time that I'm going to close comments on this because I already know what I said if I said was wrong, and I don't need to hear it from people that want to say it anyways. Now, Peter, I'm gonna let Peter know that this video is a play, because here's the thing about me. Every time I talk about somebody in a video that I make, I always let them know I do it. Do you know what that shows? I'm not a coward. I'm literally telling the people that I talk about in my videos that I'm talking about them in my videos. Every single time. If I was a coward, I wouldn't do that. If I was a coward, I'd hide behind it. They would find it out. They would find out about from some third party, but they're not. They're finding out from me, the source that proves I'm not a coward. Now, of course, Peter thinks I'm hateful, but here's the thing is like about people like Peter and R and all these guys, and Mike, this other blowhard jackass that I blocked already. I've lost count of how many email accounts I blocked him, or Twitter accounts of his I blocked, but because he can't understand context for the life of him, neither can R or Peter for that matter when it comes to the Bible. It's kind of ironic because I like to argue against the Bible, and then they try to use it against you and then they always take it out of context. Like I've never seen an atheist to date use the Bible in context faithfully, consistently. It just doesn't happen. They use the Bible against us, but the thing is, it won't work against someone like me because I know that, first of all, I know the Bible well, and secondly, I really know how to do context well, both of which atheists can't do for shit. So, yeah, there is that. All right. Oh, this was an interesting way of getting shit off my chest. All right. Well, yeah, I think I'll just leave it at that for now. And just also too, if you're a Christian, pray for me. Obviously, I need prayer. All right, that's it for now. Peace out, Brother Rob.